Step into you grateful you woke up and got out of bed this morning. At least you alive. I get it, the odds was never cut out in your favor. At least you was trying. I'm physically tired, got aspirations of the future inside of my mind. Survivor's remorse, I think of the people I left and I'm leaving behind. I gotta survive. For all of my homies ain't make it this far, I gotta survive. A couple of reasons you are who you are, you gotta survive. Would you rather live or regret that you didn't? You gotta decide. I'm living my story, it's already written, I gotta survive.
Welcome to Game One, brought to you by MOBoombox, part of our MoTV series, one of our premier pods. Today I got a pro hooper, a guard, a forward, whatever you need, what he says. So he just hoops. But he's played in Germany, Australia. He's currently in China right now. Welcome to the pod. Welcome to Game One, Garric Young.
Appreciate you having me. Nice to be here.
No problem, man. We appreciate you. So for the people who don't know, who might have not seen Imported, by the way, you're featured on Imported on Hulu. Viewers, check it out. Great documentary on what overseas players go through and experience overseas. But today we're going to hear more of Garric Young's experience. But for the people who don't know, can you tell us like where you from? What part? I know you're from the DMV, but you speak more about where you from specifically, where you played at, things of that nature.
Easy. So I'm from PG County. I grew up in Hyattsville. Like pretty much like the first half of my life, I grew up next to Cesar Chavez, and then the second half I grew up next to Bladensburg High School. Let's see. I went to Robert Goddard. Then I went to a school called St. Anselm's in middle school, and then I went to Sidwell Friends School in D.C. To finish out my high school career. Right after that, I went to Mount St. Mary's University in Emmitsburg. Then I went to West Virginia Wesleyan College, and then I went to Colorado State Pueblo in Colorado. And then after that, I went straight to Germany. Went from Germany to Canada. Went from Canada to Australia. Went back to Australia, and then just finished the season there, and now I'm in China.
Yeah, quite the journey. So because you played, all over the DMV, is there any like players you remember like growing up playing against or with that you think about back on it now? Like, man, it was great being there, having that opportunity to like play with this guy because it helped my game develop or things like that.
For sure. Like I started basketball late. I was always a football guy growing up. But like, especially as soon as I went to Sidwell Friends, I felt like I was just surrounded by so much talent. It honed my skills and my mentality quickly. Like I guess some notable players I played with are like Sadiq Bey, one of my close friends. Jelani Williams, he was really good at that school as well with me. Even like my first vet at the school, his name was Alex Gamble. Like they just showed me how to be a pro, like how to approach the game. And they challenged me every day, like working out after practice, working out in the morning before school. Like everything just got me right.
Man, so you a real DMV hooper then. Okay. I like Sadiq Bey. He's one of my players in the league right now too. So that's what's up that you guys are tight like that. But let's talk about, the overseas experience, man. So when you first started, like, cause I remember in the Imported, you talked about how you went to Canada and flying to Australia was like different for you and stuff like that because it was a long flight, man. Was it like a culture shock? You know what I'm saying? When you playing in these different countries because it's a different like way of life for them over there. Did you experience any of that?
Every time it's something that's a culture shock every time. Like in Germany, a completely different language. When they give you the car, like it's stick shift instead of automatic, so that's different. The food's different. Like Canada, I wasn't used to that cold. Like it was freezing when I got there. Australia, very very different culture. The animals, the bugs, you see it all when you're out there. Like the flight's crazy in itself. The food's different. Just the way they approach life too. Like every country you go to, they kind of have a different approach and view on life, and it just opens your mind to how different the world is. And China's probably been the biggest culture shock so far. I can't lie.
Mm. I gotta ask you this though, because Australia probably will actually no, Australia will never see me. Like that's probably one continent on the planet that will never see me because listen, them animals over there are different. Okay, they got some stuff over there. I just don't. I'm good. Have you seen any like anything wild that had you like whoa like? Cause I heard like kangaroos is one thing, but I heard they got like big spiders, that's big as like your hand and things like that. Nate, you ever seen anything crazy
Yeah, you
like
see
that?
it all. Like it's funny because before I even went, that's the same exact mindset I had. Like, I remember growing up, I was watching it. You know, you see it on National Geographic, all that. You're like, I was like, I'm never gonna go there. I'm never gonna find myself in Australia. And then I ended up being there for 2 years. But yeah, like I've seen the big spiders, like the huntsman spiders and the webs.
What?
You see the snakes, like the brown snakes, and you see the kangaroos. What else do they have out there? Like, I haven't seen a shark, which is nice, but see
Okay.
they got crocodiles, poisonous jellyfish. What you can they
Mm,
probably have it. It's crazy.
mm. So what's the language barrier like? Like, does it have you like learned any like of the like language so you could socialize or communicate with people or like not even just like with like locals, but like with your teammates, coaches, and things like that?
For sure. Like I've always tried to like get myself kind of acclimated to the culture. It makes the experience easier because you're so far from home. Like when I was in Germany, I was on Duolingo every day. By the time I left, I could fully order food like in German. I could have like a short conversation in German. You forget it when you leave, but you still,
Mm,
it's around you every single day, like all day, every day. There's nothing you can do. It's in your face. So being there so long, you kind of
mm,
just you pick up on things. To be fair, like so far in China, I'm struggling a little bit. This is the most different language I've had to deal with, but I'm trying to
mm.
learn. I'm trying to learn some of it at least.
Nah, I bet that Mandarin. Listen, it's a whole different like a whole because it's not like European languages. Like it's a whole different speech vernacular pattern that you gotta like pick up on. So I imagine like that's probably might be the most difficult you probably had to go through.
Never
Um,
gonna be.
but let's uh let's talk about the like the food, the diet, because like when I was watching the documentary, I didn't know this because like talking to other overseas players, I've heard different stories, but in the doc they were saying how like some of y'all don't even have like full kitchens and where you're staying at, and you have to cook food on like hot plates and things like that. Like, well, what's the diet like? Because I know as an athlete, it's important for y'all to like try and eat as clean as possible because y'all bodies is pretty much what y'all got, what y'all work with. So what's that like for you? Is it better in China or?
I said it depends on the country. Like in Germany, I had a full kitchen,
Okay.
so I was fine. Like I was just going to the grocery stores down the street. Like they have fresh food. It was good food. I'm not gonna lie. But when I was in Canada, like I didn't have a kitchen, so it was kind of like that hot plate type
Mm,
vibe. Like you just had a little induction stove, so you kind of cooking everything in like one pot. You know.
mm,
Um, in Australia, like they gave me a nice house, so I was cooking for sure. But
mm,
in China it's different. Like it's cheaper. It's one of the few countries, or it's the only country I know. It's cheaper to eat out than it is to like go to the grocery store. If that makes sense. So like if you like
wow.
a serving of like fried rice is gonna cost you like $2 maybe, like a full serving. So I've really just been eating out. Um, I'm trying not.
I would eat good in
You
China
said
too. I ain't gonna hold you. I said I would eat good in China too. I ain't gonna hold you.
cheap. Like you can survive off like $10 a week eating. I'm not gonna lie, like it's that cheap.
Hmm.
And like I try to stay away from McDonald's and KFC. I mean, sometimes you want American food, so you do it. just to
Mm.
feel like get a little bit of taste of home. But otherwise, yeah, just you can eat like
How different is like franchise restaurants like McDonald's and stuff from over here?
now it's different. You can get dumplings at KFC here, like or like there's no apple pies at McDonald's. Like it's called taro
Mm.
pie or something. Like it's like this purple sweet potato kind of.
Mm.
I mean,
Okay.
I don't want to talk bad on anybody's food. I don't like it.
Nah, I get it. I get it. Man. So let's talk about some hoop, man. So growing up and playing basketball in America and develop your game here and then having to go overseas and play in these different countries, like what's the transition like kind of like learning how to play a whole I won't say a whole different game, but learning like a different style of basketball because you hear a lot about how like the fundamentals and playing the right way is stressed more so and over here basketball is more of like an entertainment thing or we just like to play pickup, as some say, like organized pickup. Like, what's the what was the transition like for you going overseas?
At first it was a little difficult. Like you got to get used to like the travel rules. Like a lot of Americans when they first go to FIBA or Europe, like they travel because the swing through rip is a travel
Hmm.
over there. Like you have to cross step, you have to dribble before you even drive to the basket. It's definitely a lot more team focused in FIBA. Like they want everybody to touch the ball before you score instead of just if you have a usually if you're back home, like if you're in the States, if you're open, you gotta shoot it. Like that's kind of the mentality. You gotta
Hmm.
get yours. But in FIBA is definitely more dependent on the market. Some markets do want you to just go to work, but if like certain European markets, they really want you to be team oriented, like pass the ball around, everybody touches the ball. You're looking for catch and shoot, back cuts, easy layups, easy dunks.
Hmm.
Not too much flashiness unless it's like the end of the shot clock. I say it's kind of the same in Australia as well.
Hmm. Would you say it? Obviously, it made you like a better basketball player, but would you say like when you watch like say when you come back home and you watching like the youngins who do you ever sit back and look at it like you look at it through a different lens. It's like, huh, they should have, this dude should be doing this or X, Y, and Z. Or do you look at it like, nah, how you always looked at it before you left overseas, where it's like that's they just hooping.
Uh, I say half and half. Like my high school coach was he played overseas actually at Silver Frank, Eric
Okay.
Singletary. Like he taught us how to play basketball. I feel like the right way, like how to think the game instead of
Mm.
just going out there and hooping. So I feel like I already
Hmm.
had a decent grasp on how to play out there in that system. Like learning how to score off the ball, how to cut off the ball, screen off the ball, how to set teammates up, things like that. So it wasn't too crazy of an adjustment. I do I do see like in American basketball, it's not. I say it isn't as IQ focused. Like it's more about like kind of getting your cups or like some highlight plays. I enjoy it personally, but it is different. I
Hmm.
see easier ways to score. Like sometimes you'll watch a kid who's crazy talented, and I'm like, you went through all that to score when you could have made it simpler or just things like that.
Hmm.
I like it. Like I like the
Do you
creativity that
think?
comes with the game. Like I think Americans have the most creativity. And it's the most entertaining style of basketball for me to watch personally. I do understand though, like how to apply like the European
Mm.
concepts to it.
Do you think? Because I'm asking as just somebody that likes playing and watching basketball. Do you think that's because over here, like playing fast paced running gun is more emphasized here? Whereas like if you look at overseas players or international players in general, they like to play more of a slow paced game or in a half court setting. Do you think that's part of the reason why players over here tend to get more in their bag because it's so fast paced? Because I know for me personally, when I played in high school, I ain't gonna lie, my coach took advantage of that no shot clock. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, but it helped our IQ because it helped us like work, you know what I'm saying, work the ball around to get like a great shot versus a good shot. But when I went on to play JUCO, where we actually had a shot clock, it was like, no, we have to, you know what I'm saying? We have to push the ball. Like, we got to get as much buckets as we can in transition and stuff like that. So you think that's probably why like over here is a bit more emphasized because they want to I want to say more basketball teachers or trainers, whatever you want to call them, are teaching the youth like, hey, we want to get you used to getting up and down the court versus overseas. It's like we want to operate more in a half court setting.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a big reason. Like basketball is more highlight culture based now. Like people just want the highlights. I think also just is what
Mm-hmm.
they watch. Like in Europe, like the highest level they see is EuroLeague, where they play that systematic basketball. So when they're growing up, they're trying to play like the
Mm-hmm.
players. So like they're thinking, how do I make the right pass, right cut? Like how do I score off of easy
Mm-hmm.
buckets? But in America, like they're looking up to the NBA, so they're looking up to the like fast paced dunks, early shot clock threes, like
Mm-hmm.
looking at the star players, hit somebody with a crazy dribble combo, step back, like James Harden type scoring,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I just think it's the basketball that the youth look up to. Like that's kind of what influences their play style because everybody wants to make it to the highest level in their country. And
Nah, I could definitely agree with that. Um, that being said, what now that you know that you have a career in basketball, what's something that you think, or what's something that you would probably tell like a young Hooper that's coming up and is probably thinking like NBA or bust? Like they don't, because I know for us when I was younger, I didn't quite understand like you could have a career in basketball outside of um making it to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I really realized that till I seen other guys I used to play with playing overseas, which I'm proud of them. But it's just like, oh, okay, they like there's a whole market or industry of basketball like all across the world, and you know the game is still growing globally. So like, what would you tell? Oh, like what type of advice? What would you tell like a young hooper coming up that might be thinking like, oh, it's NBA or bust. If I don't got no D1 offers by junior year in high school, then I gotta call it quits, anything like that.
man, I definitely tell them to stick with it and like stay the course. Especially with the way
Mm,
it's going now. Like you got NBA Europe, NBA about to go to Europe. You got NBA in Africa. Like you
mm,
got these leagues are paying players millions and millions of dollars every year. Like you can make similar money to NBA players in some of these leagues now. Sometimes if you're in a real league, you're making more than the minimum for like rookies or vets, you know. So I definitely tell them to stick with it. Especially in Europe because you don't have to be D1 or bust to get a good contract overseas. Like there's plenty of D2 players, NAI players, JUCO players. Like they're
mm,
making crazy bread that like you couldn't even imagine overseas because they just stuck with it and they focused on the development instead of just all the glitz and glamour that comes with the career. You know, like just I tell them just stay focused on
mm,
improving every year. Like find one new skill to focus on every year. Like find something new to learn about the game every year because the career can take you really far. See different countries. If money's your focus, you can make a lot of money. Like it's up to you. You can get passports. Like teams give you passports in some places you play for them. Like the world is kind of your oyster if you don't give up and you just keep going with it.
yeah, y'all heard it from Garric, man. Just stick, just trust the work. Um, so on game one, we do special segments with our guests. I'm gonna have a few with you. One of them is called lifetime matchups, and what that is, I'm gonna give you two players, two random players. They're usually like comparable in like skill, stature, whatever. It might be an old school player and a new school player. Uh, two players playing now, and you just got to give me like your opinion on who you think will win like 1-on-1, because 1-on-1 is kind of big right now. I don't know if you've been noticing like, you know what I'm saying, 1-on-1 tournaments and 1-on-1 matchups is like a big thing going on, and it's getting real popular. So it's fun to have these conversations. But I'm gonna ask you, this is off the top of my head too, who you think will win in a 1-on-1
Say
matchup.
that.
So let's go. Let's give me an era. How about this? Give me an era like 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 70s. It don't matter.
I'm gonna do 2000s to start 2000s.
2000s. Okay. Let's do. How about this? Let's do. Who was tough in 2000s? Uh, hmm. Let's do Brandon Roy versus hmm, Grant Hill, 1-on-1.
Brandon Roy versus Grant Hill. That's a calm one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like the height advantage in 1-on-1 is kind of underrated. You know, just being able to get your shot off. Brandon Roy's a
Okay.
dog. Dang, that's a good one. I like that. I might have to go Brandon Roy. Like even hearing the way
Okay.
NBA players talk about him, like he just sounded like he was a problem. Like
Okay.
I'm
I can understand that. I would lean towards Grant Hill, but I will say this about Brandon Roy because I watched him go at Kobe. My favorite player was D Wade. I used to watch him go at D Wade. I used to watch him go at, and you know, the 2000s era was deep with like two guards. You know what I'm saying? The 90s they had Jordan and they had the Clydes and obviously Grant Hills of the world. But I feel like the 2000s probably the deepest era of like two guards in my opinion, because you had Kobe, T Mac, Ray Allen, Wade, Brandon Roy. Then he came in the latter end too. AI played the two, so it's like I can understand that because I feel like Brandon Roy might be more equipped because he's played in a later era than Grant Hill, and I feel like Grant Hill was as skilled as he was. That athleticism took him to a whole nother level. So it'll be about could Brandon Roy contain that? But I like that answer
and
though. I'm
that's
not
he
gonna
great
lie.
height advantage
Um,
too. Like yeah,
hmm
like especially seeing a 1-on-1 scene because you're gonna get in like a tough scoring situation. Like if you can get that shot over, even though somebody's like pressing you, like if you lose the dribble
hmm
or something like that, like it kind of gives you an advantage just being able to get that shot in. So
hmm Personally, this is like I didn't even have this question prepared because while we talking about skills, what do you think about the mid range?
I'm glad it's coming back. I think because I feel like it disappeared for a little bit, like completely. Like you hear about college systems even like telling kids not to shoot the mid range at all.
hmm
I think
No, it's
yeah,
insane.
it's
Cause
a
I tell people all the time, like the midi will really open your game up because that shot, if you could just get to that shot, no matter where you're on the floor, especially in the half court, you pull up on anybody because it's not. I don't say it's not guarded well, but it's just like probably one of the most open spaces on the floor where you could just pull up on anybody. Because obviously, when you deep in the paint, you know everybody gonna collapse on you in the 3 point the 3 pointer. Yeah, like the range got to be there for that. But no, I'm glad you said that because I just wanted to hear a pro hooper reaffirm that because I have a bias for like players that have good that got that midi in their
roof.
bag.
It
But
still exists in FIBA. Like it's still a valuable shot in FIBA. Like I know NBA analytics like they don't like it because of the true shooting percentage, and if you can score more if you shoot a lower percentage from three. It's a
hmm
score shot. Like it can get you warm if your three isn't hitting. Like if you're not hitting from the three, like it's a good rhythm shot to get you in rhythm. Like
Yep.
you can always create space for it. It's hard to guard. Like
Yep.
I like it.
hmm Nah, facts. But we gonna wrap this up soon, man. Uh, is there any is there anything going on like in the DMV area as far as like hoopers, young hoopers coming up, maybe some trainers that's doing great work in the community, or just family? Because I know I seen the documentary how important your family was to you. Is there anybody you want to shout out during this interview to let them know like, hey, I see you over here overseas, even though I'm doing my thing.
Yeah, for sure. Like I always gotta shout out my family, especially my mom. Always been there, like
Mhm.
supporting me. The ups and downs of the journey, especially my journey, it's been a crazy one. I want to shout out her for sure for always staying down. I definitely want to shout out my high school coach, Eric Singletary. Like he told me exactly what even before I promise you when I first went to the school, I could not play I was not good at basketball. Like he told me
Mhm.
step by step. Like if I wanted to be a pro, he told me exactly what I had to do, the mindset I had to have, how to approach the game, and throughout my career, even when there were times where I really didn't think I'd make it to be a pro, like I stuck with those principles, and it kind of helped me get here today. Like it really helped me get here today, honestly. Like I want to shout out the coach at Georgetown Prep, Coach Howard Blue. Like all, he's pretty much the main guy that trained me. Like especially after I got to Sidwell, he showed me how hard it is. Like gave me that killer instinct to always be able to dominate. Like no matter where I was. Shout out David McGlone, getting me started on the journey. That's the first person to really put a basketball in my hand, take me away from football. Even though I know my football coaches probably wouldn't appreciate that. But the talent coming out the DMV these days is crazy. I want the young.
Yeah, especially PG.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh, like some dogs. So keep being a joy to watch. Like I'm tapping in from overseas for sure. I love seeing it. And the game's expanding, so I just want everybody to keep sticking with it. Like, don't give up hope. Even if you're not a 5 or 4 star, like your career's not over. Trust. If you stick with it, it can take you anywhere.
Nah, real. That's real. Before we go, is there any like future goals or career? You don't want it. Yeah, is there any future goals or career plans that you might want to share, or you want to keep down the roster? I know like sometimes players got their own personal goals going into the season. They don't want to share. They just want to let the work show. But if there is any you want to share, floor is yours.
Man, I wouldn't. I like to stay present. Like whatever, I just think the work is gonna show. Like put my head down, grind. When season time comes, it's time to show everybody who I am. Like I think whatever league I play in, I'm gonna dominate it, no matter how high it is. I'm not gonna lie. Like I think if you just put in the work, believe in yourself, trust God, listen to the coaches, you can do whatever you want. So we'll see. My goal is just to dominate wherever I end up next. We'll see where my agents end up finding me, but it's gonna be another great season, I believe, personally.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I believe it too, man. That's Garric Young, y'all. Thank you for coming on, Garric. Really appreciate you, man. Keep in touch. I'm gonna keep in touch with you. I'm gonna keep following what you're doing over there overseas because I like to see guys from their area going out and doing their thing, especially when it comes to hoop, when it comes to you know what I'm saying, trying to just, seeing people work for their dreams and accomplish them. Because I'm pretty sure when you was young, you thought you was going to the league like all of us. But as it turned out, like you said, you put the work in and you live with the results. You know what I'm saying? So, and the results show, you know what I'm saying? You're a pro. You can hop on that court with anybody and you know what I'm saying, hold your own. That's all that matters. So, again, thank you, Garric, for coming on Game One. And good luck this season. And stay safe out there in China. You know what I mean?
I already know. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Nah, I appreciate you having me on. Appreciate you, spreading the word about basketball, the different avenues everybody can take is much needed. Like it's not all just about whoever's the top picks in the NBA. It's a wide range of what you can do with this sport. It can bring the world to you. So appreciate you. Shout out you. And then, yeah, I think that's all I got to say for real.
Okay. All right, man. Appreciate you. That's Game One, y'all, with MOBoombox, brought to you on Mo TV. We out.
I know. Going with emotions like a tight end. Yeah, she ain't trying to grow. How we